Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Marketer.co podcast. I'm your host, Nate Need, CEO of Marketer.co, where we help businesses grow through cutting-edge digital marketing strategies, SEO, and link building. Whether you're a seasoned marketer or just starting out, this is the place to get actionable insights that drive real results. Today, we're diving into a topic that's been a hot button issue in the SEO world for years: exact match anchor text in link building. If you've ever wondered how to use exact match anchors effectively without risking a Google penalty, you're in the right place. We'll break down what exact match anchor text is, why it matters, and, most importantly, the best formula to use it strategically in your link building efforts. Now you might be thinking, isn't exact match anchor text risky? Or maybe, how much is too much? These are great questions, and we're going to answer them all. Anchor text plays a critical role in SEO. It helps search engines understand what your page is about and can significantly impact your rankings. But as with anything in SEO, there's a fine line between optimization and over-optimization. Overdo it, and you could find yourself facing a penalty. Use it wisely, and it can be a powerful tool in your SEO arsenal. So whether you're looking to fine-tune your link building strategy or just want to understand how anchor text fits into the bigger picture of SEO, stick around. By the end of this episode, you'll have a clear roadmap for using exact match anchor text effectively and safely. Let's get started. All right, let's start with the basics. What exactly is exact match anchor text? If you're new to SEO or just need a refresher, anchor text is the clickable text in a hyperlink. It's the visible part of the link that users see on a web page. For example, if I were to link to a page about coffee makers, the anchor text might look something like this: best coffee maker. That's exact match anchor text, when the anchor text matches the exact keyword or phrase you're trying to rank for. Now, exact match anchor text is just one type of anchor text. There are others like partial match. This includes part of your target keyword, like great coffee maker instead of best coffee maker, branded. This uses your brand name as the anchor text, like Marketer.co. Generic. These are non-specific phrases like click here or learn more. Naked URLs. This is when the full URL is used as the anchor text, like https Marketer.co. So why does this matter? Well, anchor text helps search engines understand the context and relevance of the page you're linking to. If you're linking to a page about coffee makers, using best coffee maker as the anchor text tells Google, hey, this page is relevant to that keyword. But here's where things get interesting. Back in the early 2010s, exact match anchor text was huge. SEOs would stuff their backlinks with exact match anchors to game the system and boost rankings. It worked for a while. But then Google rolled out the Penguin algorithm update, which specifically targeted over-optimized link profiles. Sites that had too many exact match anchors saw their rankings plummet overnight. This marked a major shift in SEO. Google started prioritizing natural, user-focused link building over manipulative tactics. Today, exact match anchor text isn't dead. It's just not the golden ticket it once was. The key is to use it strategically and in moderation, which we'll dive into later in the episode. So, to recap, exact match anchor text is when the anchor text matches the exact keyword you're targeting. It's a powerful tool, but it's not the only tool in your SEO toolbox. And as we'll see, balance and context are everything when it comes to using it effectively. Up next, we'll explore the role of exact match anchor text in modern SEO, what's changed, what's stayed the same, and how to use it without getting penalized. Stick around. Now that we've covered what exact match anchor text is and how it's evolved, let's talk about its role in modern SEO. Is it still relevant? Should you use it at all? And if so, how can you do it without putting your site at risk? Let's break it down. First, let's talk about the pros of using exact match anchor text. When used correctly, it can be a powerful tool in your SEO arsenal. Here's why. Helps search engines understand relevance. Exact match anchor text sends a clear signal to search engines about what your page is about. If you're targeting the keyword best coffee maker, using that exact phrase as anchor text can help Google connect the dots and understand that your page is highly relevant to that query. Can boost rankings for specific keywords. When used sparingly and in the right context, exact match anchors can give your page a rankings boost for the targeted keyword. This is especially true if the link comes from a high authority relevant site, adds precision to your link profile. A well-placed exact match anchor can add precision to your overall link profile, making it clear which pages you want to rank for specific terms. But, and this is a big but, there are also some serious cons to overusing exact match anchor text. Let's talk about those. Risk of Google penalties. Over-optimizing your anchor text with too many exact match links can trigger Google's spam filters. Remember the Penguin update? It's still very much alive, and Google is better than ever at spotting unnatural link building practices. Makes your link profile look unnatural. If 50% of your backlinks use exact match anchors, that's a huge red flag. Natural link profiles are diverse, with a mix of branded, generic, partial match, and naked URL anchors. Overloading on exact match anchors makes your profile look manipulative, can harm user experience. If every link on a page uses exact match anchor text, it can feel spammy and robotic to users. Remember, SEO isn't just about pleasing search engines, it's about creating a great experience for your audience. So what's Google's stance on all of this? Well, Google has been pretty clear. They want link building to be natural and user-focused. In their guidelines, they emphasize the importance of anchor text diversity and warn against over-optimization. The goal is to create links that are helpful to users, not just to manipulate rankings. That said, Google isn't saying you should never use exact match anchor text. They're saying it should be used in a way that feels natural and adds value. For example, if you're writing a blog post about the best coffee makers, it makes sense to link to a product page using the anchor text best coffee maker. But if you're forcing that same anchor text into an unrelated article, that's where you run into trouble. The bottom line, exact match anchor text still has a place in modern SEO, but it's not the be-all and end-all. It's one piece of the puzzle, and it needs to be used thoughtfully and strategically. In the next segment, we'll dive into the best formula for using exact match anchor text effectively. We'll talk about ratios, relevance, and how to strike the perfect balance. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. All right, we've talked about what exact match anchor text is, its role in modern SEO, and the risks of overusing it. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this episode. What's the best formula for using exact match anchor text effectively? If you're going to use exact match anchors, and I believe you should in moderation, you need a clear strategy. You can't just sprinkle them randomly throughout your link profile and hope for the best. So let's break it down step by step. Step 1. Anchor text. Diversity is key. The first rule of using exact match anchor text is this: diversity is non-negotiable. You want your link profile to look natural, and that means using a mix of different anchor text types. Here's a general ratio I recommend: 1 to 5% exact. Match. Use exact match anchors sparingly. This small percentage is enough to send a strong relevance signal without raising red flags. 20-30% partial match. These are anchors that include your target keyword but aren't exact matches. For example, great coffee maker instead of best coffee maker. 30-40%. Branded. Use your brand name as anchor text. This is a safe and natural way to build links. The rest, generic naked URLs. Fill out the rest of your profile with generic phrases like click here or learn more, and naked URLs like https marketer.co. This mix ensures your link profile looks natural to both users and search engines. Step 2. Focus on relevance and context. Exact match anchor text only works when it's contextually relevant. If you're linking to a page about coffee makers, the anchor text best coffee maker makes perfect sense. But if you're linking to that same page from an article about hiking gear, it's going to look forced and unnatural. Always ask yourself, does this anchor text fit naturally into the content? If the answer is no, don't use it. It's better to use a partial match or branded anchor than to force an exact match where it doesn't belong. Step 3. Prioritize high-quality links. Not all links are created equal. Exact match anchor text is most effective when it's used on high-quality, relevant sites. If you're getting links from low-authority or spammy sites, it doesn't matter what anchor text you use. It's not going to help your SEO, and it might even hurt it. Focus on building relationships with authoritative sites in your niche. When they link to you using exact match anchors, it sends a strong signal to Google about your page's relevance. Step 4, monitor and adjust SEO isn't a set it and forget it game. You need to regularly monitor your anchor text distribution to make sure it stays balanced. Tools like Ahrefs, SEMrush, or Moz can help you track your anchor text ratios and identify any red flags. If you notice your exact match anchors creeping above 5%, it's time to dial it back. Add more branded, generic, or partial match anchors to rebalance your profile. Step 5, balance with user intent. At the end of the day, SEO is about serving users. Every link you build, whether it uses exact match anchor text or not, should add value to the user experience. If a link feels forced or out of place, it's not doing its job. Always ask yourself, does this link make sense for the reader? If the answer is yes, you're on the right track. Putting it all together. So, what's the best formula for using exact match anchor text? Here's the TLDR. Keep exact match anchors to 1 to 5% of your total link profile. Ensure they're contextually relevant and fit naturally into the content. Use them on high-quality, authoritative sites. Regularly monitor your anchor text ratios and adjust as needed. Always prioritize user experience and natural linking. If you follow these steps, you'll be able to use exact match anchor text effectively without risking penalties. It's all about balance, relevance, and quality. Up next, we'll talk about some common mistakes to avoid when using exact match anchor text. Trust me, you'll want to hear this before you start building those links. All right, we've covered the best formula for using exact match anchor text effectively. Now let's talk about what not to do. Even with the best intentions, it's easy to make mistakes when it comes to anchor text optimization. And trust me, these mistakes can cost you, whether it's a drop in rankings or even a Google penalty. So let's go through some of the most common pitfalls and how to avoid them. Mistake number 1, overloading exact match anchor text in a short period. One of the biggest mistakes I see is when someone decides to go all in on exact match anchor text and builds a ton of links with the same anchor in a short time frame. For example, if you suddenly get 50 backlinks all using the anchor text, best coffee maker, that's a huge red flag for Google. Why is this a problem? Because it looks unnatural. In the real world, links don't just appear overnight with the same exact anchor text. Google's algorithms are designed to spot these patterns, and when they do, your site could be flagged for over-optimization. How to avoid it? Spread out your link building efforts over time. Focus on building a diverse link profile gradually, rather than trying to game the system all at once. Mistake number 2, using exact match anchors in irrelevant or low-quality content. Another common mistake is using exact match anchor text in content that has nothing to do with the target keyword. For example, if you're linking to a page about coffee makers from an article about hiking boots and you use the anchor text best coffee maker, it's going to look spammy both to users and to Google. Similarly, using exact match anchors on low quality or spammy sites is a bad idea. If the site linking to you isn't trustworthy or relevant, the exact match anchor text won't do you any favors. In fact, it could hurt your SEO. How to avoid it? Only use exact match anchor text when it's contextually relevant, and always prioritize high-quality, authoritative sites for your backlinks. Mistake number 3, ignoring the importance of branded and generic anchors. Some people get so focused on exact match anchor text that they forget about the other types of anchors, like branded and generic anchors. This is a huge mistake. Remember, a natural link profile includes a mix of anchor text types. If your profile is dominated by exact match anchors, it's going to look manipulative. How to avoid it? Follow the 1-5% rule for exact match anchors, and make sure the rest of your profile is balanced with branded, generic, and partial match anchors. Mistake number 4, failing to monitor and adjust. Overtime SEO isn't a one and done process. If you're not regularly monitoring your anchor text distribution, you could accidentally over-optimize without even realizing it. For example, maybe you started with a healthy mix of anchor text types, but over time, your exact match anchors crept up to 10% or 15%. If you're not keeping an eye on this, you could be putting your site at risk. How to avoid it? Use tools like Ahrefs, SEMrush, or Moz to regularly audit your link profile. If you notice your exact match anchors are getting too high, adjust your strategy to rebalance your profile. Mistake number 5, forgetting about user intent. At the end of the day, SEO is about serving users. If you're so focused on optimizing for search engines that you forget about the user experience, you're doing it wrong. For example, if you're forcing exact match anchor text into a sentence where it doesn't make sense, it's going to feel robotic and spammy to readers. And if users don't like your content, they're not going to engage with it, which can hurt your rankings in the long run. How to avoid it? Always ask yourself, does this link add value for the user? If the answer is no, rethink your approach. Key takeaways. To sum it up, here are the top mistakes to avoid when using exact match anchor text. Don't overload exact match anchors in a short period. Don't use exact match anchors in irrelevant or low-quality content. Don't ignore branded and generic anchors. Don't forget to monitor and adjust your anchor text ratios over time. Don't sacrifice user experience for the sake of optimization. If you can avoid these mistakes, you'll be well on your way to building a natural, penalty-free link profile. All right, we've covered a lot of ground today, so let's wrap things up with some key takeaways and final thoughts. Exact match anchor text is still a valuable tool in your SEO toolkit, but it's not something you can just throw around carelessly. The best formula for using it effectively boils down to a few key principles. Use it sparingly. Aim for 1 to 5% of your total anchor text profile. Prioritize relevance and context. Only use exact match anchors when they fit naturally into the content. Focus on high-quality links. Exact match anchors are most effective on authoritative, relevant sites. Monitor and adjust. Regularly audit your link profile to ensure it stays balanced and natural. Always prioritize user experience. Links should add value for users, not just search engines. Remember, SEO is a long-term game. It's not about quick wins or gaming the system. It's about building a sustainable strategy that drives real results. Exact match anchor text can be a powerful part of that strategy, but only if you use it wisely. If you found this episode helpful, I'd love to hear from you. Head over to marketer.co for more resources on SEO, link building, and digital marketing. We've got guides, tools, and services to help you take your online presence to the next level. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you're feeling extra generous, leave us a review. It helps us reach more listeners like you. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Until next time, keep building those links, keep optimizing, and most importantly, keep growing. This is Nate Need, signing off.